For all things outdoors, listen to the father of two, the Jesus-loving TV show hosting hairy, true-blood American redneck, Ben Cole.
And listen to the outdoor filming, chef cooking, chocolate milk drinking, John Weissmuller. And we are
Rooted Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to an action-packed podcast we have for you guys today. We're talking about my turkey for Tennessee so far. We're talking about my sister-in-law's first ever turkey she got on the ground. I'm going to tell you guys all about that hunt. Also, Ben and I are going to discuss the new Tennessee hunting laws that went into effect. All sorts of stuff. Ben's also doing some agricultural things on Seeking Creek Ranch. We got a lot to get into. So, Ben, let's dive right into it. So, my turkey hunt here, man. So, I already told y'all about opening weekend. I tried to take my wife's uncle. I didn't try to take him. I did take him. We just were not successful. And then my brother and his wife came into town. I got my brother his turkey. And then I was up to bat. So we knew that we had heard 3 birds gobbling on my brother's hunt. So naturally, I knew that there were at least 2 more in there. So I was pretty fired up about that. It was about 2 days after my brother shot his bird. I had been getting pictures on my Wise Eye that I got over my Chufa field. And I know that there was a couple of longbeards out there. So anyway, I'm trying to convince my sister-in-law to go because I want her to kill her first bird first. And she just was too tired and didn't want to go. So I said, well, I'm going to go kill the bird. I mean, shoot, I'm here. The birds were there. That's all I need. You ain't got to twist my arm. I'm in. I'm down like 4 flats, buddy. I'm ready to rip. So we get up in there, and dude, I mean, just textbook gobbles, hammering. He flies down, and dude, we were just sitting there calling a little bit on that Silverside Outdoors Rooted TV slate call. Dude, I'm telling you right now, this is no BS. I've been in the call game since I was 15 years old. I've been on Grand National stages. I'm not saying that to boast myself up. I never was any good at it. I'm just saying I've been around it, okay? I've seen a lot of calls. I've heard a lot of calling. Shot a lot of birds over calls. And, buddy, that call is freaking legit. That call has killed 3 turkeys so far just over here, not counting what, Ben and whoever else has done. So anyway, I'm working this bird in, and I'm sitting there, me and my brother, and here come 2 hens out to our left, and I'm just kind of watching them peck around, and then it ain't but 10 seconds later, here he comes, boys, out of the brush, full strut, and he's just spitting and drumming, just I mean, doing his business, man. He's trying to get them hens. Oh, my gosh, he's trying. I felt bad for him. He's trying so hard. And them hens, they didn't want nothing to do with him. They just gave him the old stink eye. You know what I mean? I know all the married people. I know exactly what I'm talking about. You trying to strut to your wife. She gave you that old stink eye. It's a bad day for you. But, dude, that old turkey came in there, just put on a show, strutting in and out of strut, spitting and drumming. And then I gave it about as long as I could till I just couldn't help it anymore. And I put the gun on him and just let it eat and folded him right up. And here's the coolest part, dude, about this whole hunt is, so I had that bird on camera at like 7 o'clock the night before. So I knew he was roosting right there. I mean, he wasn't far. Ended up, he wasn't but 200 yards behind the blind. But anyway, so I got the bird then, and then I got the point of impact of my shell hitting this turkey on the Wise Eye. It was so cool, dude. It is awesome. It's up on their page if y'all want to go see it. But, man, that thing, it was just really cool to be able to kind of capture that moment. I'll have forever, just really, really special. So, dude, I just, there's nothing better to me than just a turkey coming in, doing its thing, man, just doing it right. I love it, man. Love it.
Yeah, you and me both, man. I absolutely love it when those longbeards decide that the hens aren't going to do it for them, and you're the next choice, and they just come running. But Speaking of Wise Eye, yours captured your point of impact. Well, today I got a notification at 6:50 this morning. 5 Longbeards together walking down the road. I was like, oh. I've got a 20 gauge with some Apex waiting for you. I can promise you that.
Absolutely.
Got one tag left to fill.
Ready to go.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. One tag left to fill here in the great state of Tennessee, and I hope we can fill it sooner rather than later. We're going to give it a really good try anyway and see if we can't get that taken care of. But, man, that was awesome, though, your experience, because out of all the turkey seasons, this has been more of a trying season. We've had a lot of success, but we've also had a lot of trials too. It's been up and down, man. I really firmly believe that God has a sense of humor. And I say that because, starts off in Florida, boom, smash a bird. Go 2 weeks, no turkeys. Come here, 4 birds die. The next morning, can't get him to come in. You spent 4 days trying to kill a turkey. Nothing for 4 straight days. And listen, folks, John can kill a turkey. Now, if there's anybody out there that can kill a bird, it's this dude right here. He can hammer those turkeys. So just to see that picture on my phone excited me to no end. I was pumped for you, man. Just absolutely beside myself when I saw that picture. For your brother, too, man. It was just like, yes. Team Rooted.
Yeah, dude. That's what it's all about.
On the board. Team Rooted is hammering right now. We're killing these birds. Yeah. All of us are killing birds. Cade killed and but man, it's been a good season. It's been a really good season, and I really think that we have learned a lot during this hunting season. And man, that's the beautiful thing about hunting is, if you ever stop learning, you may just want to stop hunting because you can learn something new every day. A turkey will teach you a lot. An old whitetail buck will teach you a lot. It's just different every day. Every single day is different.
Absolutely.
So that's just something to look at right there is, the ever-changing environment of turkey hunting or hunting in general. So now your brother's wife, Erica, she killed a bird too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about...
Yeah, buddy.
Tell us about how that hunt went down.
Yeah, so it was the very next day after I got mine. So listen, you got to know a little backstory. We have taken her on this particular trip. This was her first time turkey hunting, and we have been twice for her, and there were no gobbles and no male, tom turkeys. So she was a little down in the dumps about it. She's like, well, Jimmy got one, and now you got one. Every time I've been, I haven't heard nothing. I said, Erica, listen, they're on fire now. I'm telling you, we've just got to go. And she was like, I don't really feel like going. So all the whole night, okay, old dad cooked up some prime rib for everybody. We had a big old nice dinner. Everybody was hanging out. Everybody was having a good time. The vibes were high, to say. So I thought, Erica's in a good mood. I'm gonna bring it up again. So basically, I just kept pestering her until she said yes, because I wasn't taking no for an answer. So
kind of like how you did for this podcast. You kept pestering me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you weren't taking no for an answer.
Exactly. Hey, listen, man, if I got my mindset on something, I was like, it may take me a year, but I'm going to get there, So I told her, I said, listen, I know these birds are on fire right now. I know this land. I'm telling you, you're going to kill a turkey. It's going to happen. And so, me and my brother, we finally convinced her, right? So I'm like, all right, awesome, excellent. I will see you there. So, we get up real early. We slip in there while it's still nice and dark. And so we get in there, dude, and I owl hoot and nothing. And I'm like, oh no, there's going to be another day. of not hearing or killing a turkey. So I waited a little bit and I said, you know what, man, I'm going to rip this owl hooter like it owes me money. I mean, I'm just going to get on it. And I got on it, dude. I started just, just going. And finally, dude, he pops off. Pow! I'm like, yes. And Erica was so excited. She's like, oh my God, there's one there. I heard it. That was so cool. And I'm like, all right, we're in. So little did I know. See here, folks, dude, this is something that y'all should do is look at the weather app before you go hunting. You may want to do some planning, not do what I did, which is not plan and not look at the weather app at all. So I didn't know because I was just so giddy about going. I didn't even look at the darn weather. And I'm usually pretty good about that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, here come a thunderstorm rolling in on us. So my brother's looking at the radar on his phone. He's like, oh, dude, this is going to hit us pretty good. I said, well, we're already here. We ain't leaving. I said, just don't hold the gun. It only lightened about twice. And then one time, dude, the thunder come in pretty good. And that turkey hammered to that thunder. Gosh, I love that, dude. That was so cool. And it just, the thunder came, and then that turkey just, and I'm like, oh, buddy, it's on. So same kind of story. So, dude, it was pouring the rain, man, pouring the rain. And I'm like, and of course, we're in the ground blind. Everything's fine and hunky-dory. And I said, all right, Erica, as soon as this rain lightens up, it doesn't have to stop. But I was explaining to her, that rain brings the turkeys to the field. Now, that is true. A lot of people don't really know why. From what I've gathered and some, people I've talked to in the world, just a little side note here. Whenever it rains, so it does two things. It hurts the turkey's sight, right? Because all the raindrops are coming in. It's not like they have big fat eyelashes and, their eyes, aren't on the front of their head. They can't just tilt their head down. They don't have a hat to put on, so they're kind of at a disadvantage there. And also it hurts their hearing, especially in really dense woods, because the rain's hitting all sorts of things. It's kind of just messing up their sight and their hearing. So they go into the field. It's more open. The eyesight and the hearing gets a little bit better. They feel safer. That's why they go to the fields when it rains. So knowing that, I said, we're in the perfect spot. We just got to wait this out and it'll be fine. Now, granted, I'm telling her this. It's like maybe 6 a.m. I mean, it's early. So anyway, I'm telling her this and we're just kind of waiting it out. I'm calling a little, not getting any responses, but I don't think the turkey could really hear me. I mean, it was pouring. So anyway, we're sitting there and same thing happens, dude. Here comes the hen and the same trail my gobbler came out on. Here come this one, full strut, doing his thing. And I was telling her that, I said, hey, Erica, you're going to have plenty of time when this turkey gets in here. You don't have to rush it. Don't have to do anything like that. And of course, I'm filming this and, she doesn't really know, like, hey, kind of wait for me to get on it, make sure everything's good. Well, from the time I was on that bird to the time the bird was on the ground, I filmed it, so I know it took 24 seconds. She didn't waste no time, boys. He came in there and she loved it, man. It was so funny, dude. She shot it with an old 410 and it just flopped right down. She's like, did I get it? Did I do it? I was like, yeah, girl, you got it. Woo. It was just awesome, dude. It was such a good time. Jimmy was pumped. She was pumped. She got her first bird. It was just awesome.
Oh, dude, that is epic. She got the old wet feathered turkey,
oh yeah.
Yeah, the old wet feathered turkey, man. We've killed a few of those before in the past, but hey, I'll tell you though, there's nothing like that first turkey, man, and watching people get so pumped about it, man. Me and you've killed a bunch of turkeys, and you know how I get. I get so wound up, man, I'll pull a dang muscle in my shoulder. I get so pumped. I mean, heck, I may even throw my back out. I get so excited. You never know. I just get sideways about it, But man, it's turkey hunting's exhilarating when they do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the fun part. and that's really just the icing on the cake is when you're able to go out and take a bird. That's just the icing on the cake, man. I mean, the rest of it is all the preparation going into it and different things like that. Like you have planted clover, chufa, put in a ton of work, a ton of hours on that farm just so you can not only sustain the turkey population there, but so you could increase the turkey population there, which I think is one of the most important things to do aside from trapping to sustain a healthy population of longbeards and hens too. Because let's face it, just like deer, if you don't have hens that are healthy, they're not going to lay healthy eggs. There's a lot of things that are not going to happen. So by you making that effort to provide them with the highest quality food out there, man, that's just even better. That's more rewarding than the actual kill to me. The kill is just tying it all together. That's what it does for me anyway. And, hopefully we can get another bird or two on the ground before this Tennessee season closes out. I mean, we still have about a month. I believe it closes out in the end of May there, but I don't know, man. Those birds may be getting a little squirrely at the end of May. They may not want to do nothing. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's looking pretty good that this upcoming Sunday, Monday, we're going to be able to get together. So I'm hoping that happens.
I hope so too. That would be fantastic. So we just got word today, folks, that the TWRA, Tennessee Game and Fish folks, they have released new season guidelines for turkeys for next year. So this is what it reads. And John, you want to expound on, let's dive in. So this is the portion of the turkey season. So, and it reads this: the commission also approved a new turkey hunting unit map with 5 units. All 5 units will have the same season dates and a statewide bag limit of 2 bearded birds, one of which may be a jake. The commission set the first weekend in April as the young sportsman turkey hunt and the second weekend as the full season opener. Now here's the kicker, guys. No bearded hens will be allowed for harvest, and fall season will be closed in Wayne, Lawrence, Lincoln, Giles, Lake, Tipton, Haywood, Crockett, Lauderdale, Shelby, and Dyer counties. So what does this mean? This means you don't have the freedom to shoot a bearded hen anymore. You can't shoot them. It's just done. No more bearded hens, folks.
Nope.
And talking about the jakes, you know how I feel about that, John. If you're a brand new hunter and you've never killed a turkey, sure, shoot a jake. Get immersed in this culture and this lifestyle, and eat it. That's the thing. Eat it. But let's be real honest here. The jake is your future breeding longbeard. So the more jakes you shoot, the less longbeards you're going to have. Period. End of story. So I don't necessarily think that, you should shoot a jake if, you're not a beginning hunter. Because, and this is strictly from a conservation standpoint and what I do on our farm. You've seen the turkey population transform on that farm in the past 3 years. You've personally seen it. So you know exactly what I'm talking about here. We shoot no jakes, period. I mean, if a new hunter and it was a child came in, you better believe I'd let them shoot a jake. But for me and any other clients, long beards only. We do not shoot the jakes because, like I've already mentioned, that is your future breeding stock of toms. Secondly, that is also your future turkeys to hunt. So if you're already wiping out them and you're also chasing longbeards, well, that's a double whammy on the population. And that's just my opinion, John, but tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah. So I'm the same way, and I want to preface this by saying this. You know, I I grew up where my dad didn't have hardly any time to hunt. So whenever he did, he shot whatever was legal and in season. So, you know, in Tennessee, you could shoot a doe during rifle season. So if he wanted to shoot a doe in rifle season, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If he wanted to shoot a Jake, cool. And listen, I totally get it, man. I really, really do. If you only have 1 weekend, 2 weekends to hunt, you are an American. You have a hunting license. It's legal. Yeah, it's legal, and you're out there having fun. That's awesome. But I would say that you should just really consider that. If you shoot your Jake, really you're shooting next year's Tom, and you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot for years to come, and maybe your children. So, and just the next generation of hunters, even if it's on public or private or whatever, it's like you just really need to consider that because there's a lot more to it than just shooting it. So, for me, I'm not shooting a Jake, but if you do, you do. That's all great. But I would just really, really sit there and think about it before you do it because you're kind of hurting the future. So. That's all I would say about that. Just really think about it before you do it.
If I don't want to discourage anybody from hunting, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to share my experience with letting the Jakes go. It's simply the future of your turkey population. It's the future. It just gets better.
It just gets better.
And better. I mean, take Sinking Creek, for example. We didn't shoot a bird off that place for the first 2 years. 0 turkeys came off that farm. And now we've implemented all these practices for the food plots, the burning, everything that we have put into that farm. And now we are consistently killing birds every year. Every single year we are killing turkeys. But we don't shoot Jakes. And that's just what I have discovered. I didn't mean for what I said to come off as offensive or, whatever. I'm just saying, if you really want to grow your turkey population and you really want to, see that thrive in the next 5-10 years or however long, just leave the Jakes alone, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've shot a Jake, man. When I was younger, man, that's what I first started on. But the rule was,
I shot a Jake before.
You get 1 Jake, and that's it. You get 1 freebie, and that is all. You don't get to shoot another one. And I have lived by that rule ever since. And there have been some times that I really wanted to pull the trigger on that Jake, but I was like, no, sir. Well, I mean, just a good example of that is last year, me and Ryan were hunting, and man, there was these. I would have bet money that they were full blown gobblers. I would have bet on it, John. Bet on it, and they come in gobbling like men, but they were Jakes. They fooled us. Super Jakes is what I like to call them. In fact, Ryan coined that term, Super Jakes. But, dude, they were gobbling, strutting, doing everything like an old Longbeard would. But their tail fan was that typical real long in the middle and short on the sides. And a little stubby beard that just kind of shot out of their chest, like that. It wasn't hanging. It was just, that. And hardly anything for spurs.
Yeah.
So, me and him just sat there and that just shows you, too. It's more about the chase in the game for me because – literally, you can hear me on camera saying, man, this is going to be some awesome footage. You can hear it. You can hear me say that, and these birds are not paying attention to that. They're literally gobbling at every step. And I'm talking in a plain voice. A Longbeard won't do that.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, what, hey, what was that? Did that guy say something over there? Did that leaf
See
talk
you later.
over there?
Bye.
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna give you the old putt and run.
Yeah,
That's what I like
exactly.
to call it. You know, the old putt and run. Yeah, you've
Oh yeah, I've heard that more times
you
than
and
I
me
can.
both, man. And anyway, we let him go, and guess what? They're long beards this year. All
Yeah.
4 of them, long beards. And actually, my nephew got to take his very first turkey this year, and it just so happened to be a long beard. That was a great one too. I mean, a good rascal. It was a good old bird.
I like it. Love it. Yeah, dude. And I tell you what else is really interesting about this is the whole bearded head thing. I know it's illegal in a few other states. I think Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
a couple others kind of up in that area. Probably some others I'm missing. But anyway, I really think I don't know the number. I'd have to look into it. I could probably Google it
Mm-hmm.
here, kind of real quick, like. But I'd like to know how many bearded hens, on average, are killed
Yeah.
each year here in Tennessee. Because, I know my brother he got one. Uh, that's been 3 or 4 years ago now. But and hey, I'll tell you this: if you got a bearded hen mounted, boy, that
No
thing's
two
gonna be
ways
worth some
about
money here
that.
in a little
And
while.
think about this too. I don't
Yeah.
know all the facts behind this, so don't quote me. I could be totally wrong. But from what I've heard, and if any of y'all out there know for a fact what this is, please enlighten me. I've heard that a bearded hen is not producing, but that's just I don't know if that's like an
Mm,
old hen or what, because I've seen some ducks before, like really old wood duck hens will take on the characteristics of the male, like color
mhm.
patterns and stuff. I've seen that before, but I don't know what that is.
Well, I know the one that my brother got. We didn't know it was a bearded hen until after he shot it. Uh, that's a whole nother story. It was coming down the road. He had to go down a way, shoot it. Me and Sean Templeton actually stayed back. And anyway, the point is, we didn't know until we got there, and my brother didn't know. All he was told was if it has a beard, shoot it. I had no idea. I'm reading this statistic from the Tennessee.gov site. Last year, only 7 bearded hens were harvested. So out of all the thousands of turkeys killed, 7 of them. So that tells you how rare it is. But anyway, so he shot one, and it had eggs. It had like
Dang.
6, 7, 8 eggs
Huh.
in it.
Well, that debunks that
So
right there.
which is
Yeah.
kind of a
Like I said,
yeah. So I mean, granted, I've had one sample size, so I could have had the
yeah,
outlier.
me neither.
I'm not a biologist, I don't know, but at least
Yeah,
the
man.
one
See,
I
that's the
saw had
thing. Like,
eggs.
I don't know all that stuff. I'm just going by what I've heard, and I mean, I'm not a biologist. I don't have a clue, man. I as far as that goes, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But so my point was bringing that up was
Mm-hmm.
even if it's only 7,
Yeah,
okay, turkeys, let's just say, if a hen drops 8 eggs, I
that's
mean,
it.
buddy, we're talking 50 some odd turkeys. And, that's
Really fast.
it adds up, man. It adds up. And granted, I I get
Mm-hmm.
that's not one piece of land.
But
That's over
still,
the
though.
whole state of Tennessee. But over 20 years of time, and then those multiply out, and it just
Yeah.
keeps growing. It's just a domino effect. It's just going to keep on keeping on. It just snowballs, and in theory, we get more turkeys. And I don't know about y'all, but the more turkeys, the better for me. I want to keep hunting these things
Yeah.
until they put me in the ground.
Same
So
here.
I'm
But I have to say, though,
pretty
man,
pumped up about it.
I get a rise out of watching them strut and gobble and all that stuff. That's what excites me is the strutting, the gobbling, the spitting, the drumming.
Yeah.
I don't get a rise out of an old bearded hen walking in being like, think I'll take her to the house. I mean, I'm sure they eat great. I'm sure they eat wonderful, but my thing is,
It wasn't bad.
man, the hunt is beating that old Longbeard at his own game. That's the part
Yeah,
that
heck
is
yeah.
the most rewarding is when you can slip into his land, into his territory, and you can make him go against everything he knows, which is the hens come to him. and you make that bird walk to you, that's when you know, okay,
awesome.
we're there. We have done it. We have beaten this bird at its own game, and that's what really excites me about turkey hunting anyways is that. I mean, man, just hearing gobbles on the roost gets me ramped. I mean, phew, buddy.
It's a good time.
I get fired up about gobbles. Man, I need to go turkey hunting. I've remembered I've got another tag to burn. I need to go get in the woods, Johnny boy, and kill me another longbeard. Yeah, man,
I hear you. Yeah, man, I'm going here.
Oh,
I'm going
poor
in the
little
morning with
Jeffrey.
old Jeffrey.
Going
Poor
turkey
little
hunting
Jeffrey.
again.
Dude, I feel so bad for this guy, man. Like, so I took him, like I already said, I took him opening weekend because I thought for sure we was gonna smack him. Oh man, we went 2 days, didn't do nothing, and then my family comes in. Right, my brother shoots one, I shoot one, Erica shoots one, and then the very next day, I'm like, all right, Jeff, they're in here, dude. Every day, let's go. We go, no gobbles, no bird. Just when you think you got them figured out, I'm like, perfect. Nope. If you zig, they zag. Just a classic story. And then every day, since then, that from that evening that we weren't there to now, that bird has been in there every single day, strutting his stuff with his hens, doing his thing, all times of the day, morning, evening, middle of the day. He's just in there. So I'm like, all right, Jeff, so we're gonna get up in the morning, and hopefully the next time I get on this old mic here, I'll be telling you that story. So I'm hoping, golly bum, I do feel bad for the guy, but you know, hey man, that's turkey hunting. That's just all there is to it. So I'm hoping and praying we get one.
Well,
for
all
him,
you can do is go and try.
Anyway.
And no, sir. I hope
you can't kill him on the couch.
Jeffrey gets him a very nice longbeard in the morning, and I cannot wait to get the pictures of that bird, man. I am just ramped about it. So hopefully they come in and they put on a show. I really hope that his first bird comes in strutting, spitting, gobbling, drumming, just showing out.
All of
That's what I'm looking for, is that just absolute showdown.
Yep.
And that, my friend, is where he'll be like, oh yeah, we got him now, boys. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Hook,
go
line, and
turkey
sinker,
hunting
buddy.
every year.
Yeah.
Let's go and get in the woods and hunt these critters that God has put on this earth for us to take as food. You know?
Love it.
That's just what it is, man. That is just what it is. You know, man, it's absolutely awesome to see new folks kill turkeys. So, with that being said, I'm really pumped to hear how this story unfolds, and I'm really excited to see those pictures, man. Like, I want you guys to smash a bird right off the limb, fly down in your face.
Dude.
I want him to get that full experience. That's what I'm looking for right there, is that full experience, man. I couldn't ask for anything more. And man, I think poor little Jeffrey's a pretty great dude. So you know, me and him hit it off pretty quick, like picking on each other.
Sure.
He's a cool dude, man. And I was like, yep, this guy's my kind of feller to hang out with right there.
Oh yeah. Yep. Old Jeffrey gives you crap, and he likes to take it right back.
Hey, don't forget now.
That's
in
all
the morning,
you can ask for.
I need you to give him the old purple nurple for me.
Hey man, look here. I did that the other day right in front of everybody at the dinner table. It was hilarious. I told him, I said, this is from Ben Cole.
Yes. Do it again in the morning and say, look, this is from the hairy grizzly bear. Purple nurples, man. And for all of you millennials that don't know what a purple nurple is, Google it. I'm not going to dive into that, but if you are not a 90s baby, you're not going to know what a purple nurple is. Trust me. But Google it. I mean, just Google it. The old,
No.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Have yourself a good time.
Probably going to Google it, and it's going to be some weird, freaky thing, that they've done changed.
Oh, God.
Since the 90s, it's turned into something wild, man. It's like, what? That ain't even what I was talking about, but
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, what is going on, man?
With the way this world's going these days, man, you don't ever know what you're getting when you search something innocently,
dude.
and it's like, what did I just look at?
Oh, man.
What did I just see? Did I misspell this or something, or am I getting this? I don't know, man. I've got something wrong here, and it ain't going my way. I can promise you that. Now I'm scarred for life for what I just saw. It's just like, man, good night. Yep. Oh, Lord help me.
Oh,
Lord, I've seen something that scarred my eyes to tears. Yeah. That's right.
Well,
folks,
ain't no good, boys.
John has got a killer hunt in the morning, so they're going to go out and have a fantastic time. And I think it's anytime you spend in the woods with your brothers, with family members, new hunters, whatever it may be, any time spent in God's creation is the best quality time you're probably ever going to get. It's quiet. All you hear is God's creation coming to life. You don't hear the man-made things. You don't hear any of that stuff, especially at Sinking Creek Ranch, because it is silence. Yeah, man. All the birds start
the world
chirping,
wakes up.
And then shortly after that, you have them old long beards hammering on the roost. It's just a beautiful thing. So if you don't know how to turkey hunt, get somebody to take you. Find somebody that will show you how to do it, because I'm telling you,
listen to this
podcast. We would love to help you in any way, shape, or form. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot us a message on any of our social media platforms. Absolutely. Email us, whatever. We would love to hear from you. And we are more than willing to help, give tips, advice, whatever. Are we some, expert turkey callers? I think we're pretty decent, but I wouldn't say we've won any awards or anything, but we like to get out and get after those longbeards. That's just what we like to do. We like to hunt them, and we like to hunt them hard. So, that's what it takes. It takes having a very persistent attitude and the no quit. You can't quit. You just got to keep going. And then eventually you're going to have success in the turkey woods. And, the turkey wood's also a good place to sit up next to one of them old pine trees and do a little praying. That is a fine spot to talk to God. Just saying.
Oh, yeah. It's a fine spot for three things. Talking to God.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Hunting,
oh, you left one out, John.
It's a great nap taking.
Yeah. Can't forget the snack time. Now listen, if you're gonna hunt with me, you better pack a snack, because me and John are liable to walk for miles, and then we're liable to perch up on a little tree like I said, I'm an old grizzly bear. I'm liable to perch up on a tree and take a nap. And just...
Hey, look here. There ain't nothing better than a good old spring turkey hunt nap. Whenever that sun's coming up, it hits you just right. You've been walking. You woke up early.
No.
And you did not go to bed on time. Ever. That never happens. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
No. You stay up way too late, get up way too early, walk way too far, and then eat something you probably shouldn't eat, but it don't matter. You eat it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And then bang.
Best nap of your life. Just make sure that when you go to take a nap, you find a good supportive, like oak tree or a big pine or something like that. Just not one of them little saplings. Them little saplings, man, they get rough on the old back there in your neck and all that. If you got one of those big old trees, you can really relax. You can just really relax, and you ain't got to worry about the wind swaying you around and, sliding off of it or whatever, man. You can just go to sleep, and it's nice. Or do like me sometimes. Sometimes I just curl up in a little ball right there. A big old hairy ball right there in the dirt. Man, I have done it. I have just laid flat on my back in the dirt and leaves and slept like a baby. Absolutely.
We've all
Well,
been
with
there.
that, folks, I think
All of us.
it's time for us to sign off this episode and hop on the next one here in the next few days. So don't forget, we are live on all social media platforms and all areas where you can listen to this podcast. It's like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. We are everywhere you can get a podcast.
All
We're
that.
probably there. So also another way to support this podcast, there's two ways. You can buy merch from us at rootedtelevision.com. Click on the shop button, or you can directly support this page this podcast at the link that is in our description. That's all I've got today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. The Redneck is out.
See y'all. Don't take a moment for granted.
For all things Rooted Podcast and Rooted Television, and I mean hats, shirts, hoodies, and other merch, check out our friends at CH Lone Star Pro and the link that is in our description.